JB was good. I want to say thank you for doing this interview. I wanted to get back to talking about the music.
I joined a singing competition when I was really young, and I got second place, and I was really discouraged, but it kind of got me performing, getting me comfortable singing in front of people, and being okay with people kind of judging me and being like, that's good or that's not good. And I was getting a lot of good feedback. And so after I realized, okay, people are really digging this, a big thing was girls really digged it. And so that was a big, driving factor of me wanting to do it. Me and my mom come from literally nothing. My mom worked multiple jobs to provide. We were on geared to income housing. My mom was on mother's allowance, and just so I wanted to be able to help provide for my family. So I started singing in front of this festival theater, and I'll put my guitar case out, and hopefully if people like it, they'll throw in some dough. So people kept coming, and they were surrounding the guitar case and were throwing in money, and so I kept coming back every day, and eventually made enough money to take my mom and I to Florida and went to Disney World. That was kind of like how it all got started.
The record Baby. Take me in the studio.
So this is a crazy question because I haven't really revisited these memories in quite some time, but I remember hearing the song at first and not, I don't know if I'm supposed to say this, but I'll just say not being super in love with the song. It was just a reference, and I remember Scooter saying to me, you got to get over the reference. Because I'm sure it's written by The Dream, and obviously he's so talented. Shout out to The Dream, but he moves so quickly, and so he's not stopping to get the lines perfect, and so it's just a scratch vocal. But for me, that's all I could reference it off of. So I'm like, I'm not sure about it. But when I got my voice on it, I immediately was just like, this is such a special record.
Despacito. Did they ask you to do it, or you just in love with the music so much and you just did it?
That's what it was. So I was in South America. I was on tour in South America, and I kept hearing this song, and I hadn't heard it in the States before. It was the first time, and I'm like, what is this record? I hit up my management team, and I was like, yo, we gotta reach out and see if I can, maybe do a remix or something. And so they had actually said that they had reached out prior around the same time, like, hey, we would love to have Justin on it. So it was like the stars just aligned, and I got it done that day.
Wow.
And it was out the next week, and it's freaking crazy.
The album Justice. This album means so much to you and so much to the world. Talk to me about this album and the title.
Since the beginning of time, there's been so much injustice, and so as I continue to just have the discussion of what that looks like, how we can be a part of the solution and not a part of the problem, and as I continue to educate myself with my wife and the people around me, it just has become more imperative and more important for me to use my platform to shed light on that. My name, Justin, the derivative is actually justice. I think it's Greek. Yeah, so it almost feels like it was my, not to get too deep or spiritual, but almost like destiny,
Yeah, I definitely believe in that, and I'm a spiritual person. God is the greatest, so the vibes align. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Also, something special about the title and the name and the album and all that. There's a MLK quote in there.
Obviously, I have a large platform, and I just think this younger generation, there is a little bit of a disconnect, and there can be a little bit of a disconnect. So I think my objective here is just to amplify his voice.
I want to personally thank you, especially through this pandemic, all the greatness that you've been putting out on your social media, awareness and making things better.
Thank you.
What is the favorite song? And I know as an artist and as a producer, like that's kind of a hard question, but what's your favorite song off this new album?
It changes all the time, but I just feel like this song called Love You Different on the album, there's so much rhythm and movement to it, and I think the world really needs to dance right now because we've been so stagnant. So it's like one of those songs that really makes you want to move.
Talk to me about the song Peaches, and I know you got a feature on there.
Peaches.
Daniel Caesar on there, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. So that's featuring Daniel Caesar and another artist named Giveon. Both
Okay.
super talented artists. They're two of my favorite artists, so I wanted to get on a song with them, and they were gracious enough to bless me with some heat. So I'm really looking forward to that song as well.
These videos I've been watching recently, if I'm not mistaken, Khaled shot most of these with you.
Yes, sir.
How's that collaboration work? And are you getting with him on the treatment?
I think what's cool about Khaled and I is we've been working together. I think he shot my second music video. This video I did called Never Let You Go. We shot it in the Bahamas. And then he did this visuals for You Smile and a lot of my earlier stuff. But we've kind of kept in contact over the years and just built chemistry. And I think at this point in my career, my objective is to just tell stories, tell real stories. We have this opportunity to tell real life, genuine stories that move people's emotions. And so that's the goal, is to move people's emotions, to tell real stories, and just to speak to people's hearts,
So like, what's something that you want to leave a message off for the people out there, the fans? What do you want them to take from this album, Justice?
Justice, this album is just meant to, encourage people. I think in my mission statement, I was just talking about how the music is such a great way to connect people and bring people together and, remind people that they're not alone. So I think my goal in this is just to provide that safe space, that music that is comforting, the music that makes you want to move and groove. And, there's so many moments when you're just sad and you just go into a car with your friends and you put on this music and it uplifts your spirit. It makes you feel good. It's like, you can be, depressed or heartbroken, and you put on music that makes you feel. It makes you, snap out of it.
New artist-wise, is there any new artist that you liking, you seeing, you feeling that's playing in your car? Or?
I do love that Driver's License song. I think that's really sick. I really love Giveon. He's a really incredible new artist that I just recently came across that I got on the album, and he's one of my favorites.
Who's your favorite producers? I know you work with so many of them, but some of your favorite producers, you know what I'm saying?
Damn. All right. Well, some of my favorite producers in the game. Well, I worked a lot with Andrew Watt on this project, who's an incredible producer. Shout out Andrew. I really love working with Sonny Skrillex. Is how a lot of people know him. I really love Pooh Bear.
Shout out to Pooh Bear. Pooh Bear, bless up, brother.
One of the most incredible producers and writers of our generation, for sure.
Sure.
And obviously DJ Khaled.
That's right. That's great.
can't
great,
forget.
Great answer. Make sure you don't edit that out. That's going in my doc. You know what I'm saying? Go to Amazon.com/Khaled. Check out the Big Pod Talk with Justin Bieber. Ask your Echo device to play the First One podcast.